Welcome everyone to episode 21 of the Brewhouse podcast between two brothers where we talk about gaming, tech, entertainment, and everything in between. This episode is going to be covering episode 5 of season 8 of Game of Thrones. Quite a controversial episode.
A lot of bitching and moaning.
Yeah, a lot of bitching and moaning, but I think majority of it is justified and people just might be explaining it the wrong way, because I've seen overall the consensus I've seen has been the same as, and it's been more reasonable than what it was for episode 3, because that episode
I've seen less.
You must
than
be
episode
following
3.
the wrong people then.
Well, no, I don't follow any people that are negative, but like the reasons that the main reasons that I'm seeing people complaining about are dumb reasons. But go on.
All right, so pretty much a brief rundown of the episode. This will be more of a breakdown of what we liked and what we disliked, because people seem to be pretty polar on this. You either like the episode or you hated it. I feel like both of us are pretty much in the middle.
I liked it.
You liked it? Okay, I'm in the middle.
I'll be honest.
I didn't love it. I didn't dislike it. I don't have a problem with what happened. I just hated the way that it happened, and it seems very rushed. Because let's get into the main problem. Daenerys goes full Mad Queen.
Yeah.
People said to some merit that she's shown some signs of she could potentially be a Mad Queen. My counter to that, you go good.
I was saying there's foreshadowing throughout the entire series that this could happen.
When has she ever killed innocent women and children?
Oh, she's never killed innocent women and children, but at that point, whenever she did do it, she made it personal and all thought process went out the window. So whenever you have as much hatred as she does towards one person, into like one individual, she doesn't care about anything else, and she just goes into pretty much a blind rage.
Yeah. Just to me, the way it happened, like she sees the Red Keep, right? And it would make sense for her to attack the Red Keep.
Absolutely. That her family built that 300 years ago when they came over and they built it. She has no direct connection to it other than that. She can rule from Storm's End, or not just Storm's End, Dragonstone, if she wanted to. She has no connection to King's Landing at all. For all she knows, that's the people that turned on her father and turned on her family. So yeah, I mean, she, in her mind, she justifies that she can kill him. She's justified in doing that, but there's other reasons why I feel like it's okay.
My whole thing was she attacked the city more than she attacked the Red Keep.
Yeah, I think that was to play it up a lot too.
Another issue I have is they contradict Arya's story. So Arya just turned Gendry down. Cersei has been number 1 on her list the entire series. They literally put Arya there to have a POV from the ground of somebody we cared about, of all the destruction going on.
I agree. I mean, they wanted somebody in there that we cared about, because, as they said at the end, the writers of the show said, if it was just random, extras,
it wouldn't have meant as much.
Even if it was Aaron Rodgers burning to death. It was better, but I also think that there was reason to do it, because it finalized her and the Hound story. It showed that she wasn't like the Hound, and that she wasn't as much as a badass as she thought she was.
Yeah.
But also it gives her a greater purpose, she realizes he's true. Cersei's dead. She thought that, everybody thought that Daenerys was going to have a harder time than she did.
Yeah. Well, let's get into that. In episode 4, they take a dragon down, just like it's nothing, right? 3 shots and he's dead. And
that was my biggest thing with the episode.
And then Daenerys comes in and wipes out the entire Iron Fleet, right? In
a couple passes.
Well, we'll mention this later. The episode, this might have been the best shot in terms of cinematography and music It might have
Easily.
been the best of the
Easily.
entire series. All right, it's up there
Easily.
with Battle of the Bastards. It was amazing. Okay, like
I think it'd probably just give the I think it would be above Battle of Bastards just for the level of what's going on in the episode, especially the end with Arya where she's just the slow mo and then she sees the horse at the end.
the Pale Mare from the
Yeah, the
prophecy.
film. Yeah, exactly. And it's just we both had issues with how easily the scorpions turned and they were reloaded as fast and how immediately they fought it. Now you can say that the dragons didn't see the scorpions there, so they had the element of surprise, they were just flying straight. Yeah, but that's ridiculous.
Yeah,
We discussed that, based on show's logic, there's only a couple people that have the innate skill to be able to shoot one down. I would say Euron is one of them. Bronn is obviously another. Because
he's hit Drogon before.
Yes. So, but other than that, there was four scorpions that hit Rhaegal. And no.
Yeah, it was 3 or 4. Regardless, Drogon got upgraded to God mode in this episode. Can breathe fire. Inevitably, like constantly with no repercussions, never gets tired. Another thing to talk about, how much of a letdown was the Golden Company?
Dude, that
they were supposed to have 20,000 soldiers, and
you can see why they didn't build them up as much as they did.
Yeah, you can see why they didn't spend the money for those elephants.
Exactly, that's what I was about to say.
Another thing I had a major problem with was a bunch of Dothraki randomly got revived.
Yeah. That was it. I guess that was the end of the Dothraki, and it's like
it was like we pretty much just witnessed the end of the Dothraki, and it looks like there's even more from the preview of next episode of the series finale.
I can understand if there's like a couple left, maybe like 50. Okay, 50 Dothraki left.
Yeah,
that's
but
fine.
Like the preview for next episode literally shows them cheering outside, and it like they all lift up their swords, and it's like it's a big number of them. And I get during the episode some of them escaped, like with Jorah. You see a couple of the Dothraki coming out.
Right.
But not as many as they showed. And I don't know, it really just feels like the Night King was there to nerf Daenerys.
Yeah.
Like that was his entire plot line.
He was there to kill one of her dragons and to nerf her army somewhat. But at the end, it honestly did not make a difference because her and Drogon could have wiped out the entire King's Landing from the start.
So let's talk about, we'll get into this later. We both think this season and last season should have been 10 episodes.
Yeah, they should. I would have rather them take another year and added 4 more episodes, all an hour and a half length, but done the series its due diligence. I would have been okay waiting a little bit longer.
Which I don't get. HBO gave them an unlimited budget and said, take however long you need, take however much money you need, just get it right. And I don't know. I feel like people aren't going to be happy no matter what. Some people aren't going to be happy no matter what.
No,
I feel like they're not going to get it right.
We can get to that. I think the fact is that George R.R. Martin said that his series is going to end very similar to the show.
Just the way you get there will probably be different.
Yeah. So I mean,
maybe not even necessarily different.
Daenerys probably will burn down King's Landing in his books.
But in the books, he'll be able to go into more detail and more depth.
Well, yeah, they're going to give
more of the backstory.
And then, I mean, this goes back to Bran's foresight, which they still haven't explained.
Yeah.
That a dragon flying over King's Landing, which they showed the same scene, and it was Drogon. And also, what Daenerys's dream in the
House of the Undying.
The House of the Undying, where she's walking through, and everybody thinks it's snow, but no, it's ash.
What about the icicles hanging from the columns? If you rewatch the episode, there's icicles hanging.
Yeah, well, that's the same thing whenever last season ended, whenever Jaime was leaving King's Landing and there were snowflakes. That was where was that built upon? That was nothing.
I think the writers, in all honesty, I think they got lucky with how it ended, and they could go back and say that was foreshadowing. Because let's put it this way, there's no way that was meant to be ashes, because in the after the episode, it says she's in the throne room full of snow.
Yeah.
So I'll give you my main problems with how things have gone.
Okay.
The writers contradict themselves in almost everything they say.
Past 2 seasons, yes.
Daenerys forgot about the Iron Fleet. Is what they said. The last scene she was in, they were talking about the Iron Fleet, and she remembers everything that everybody has ever done to her or her family. She remembered Varys, everything Varys had done. She remembered everything Jaime had done. So she's never had a memory problem up until she forgot about the Iron Fleet, which is one of the most important parts of the enemy's forces.
That's a lapse on the writers, though. I mean, that's
I know, but it translates into the writing. It translates into the show.
Yeah, but it's also, we're lucky that we have talented actors that, with the lack of writing, they're still able to pull it together.
Oh yeah, the acting's insane.
My thing is, people are moaning that she went Mad Queen, and it's like,
oh, you see, I don't have a problem that she went Mad Queen.
Oh no, that's the complaint that I see.
Mm.
But it's also the same people that probably name their dogs or kids Khaleesi.
Yeah, which
and it's like, dumb. Why would you name a kid about a character where the series is not over and she very well could be the bad guy at the end of the series?
And like Ramsay Bolton said, if you were expecting this to be a happy ending, you weren't paying attention.
No.
Okay,
it's just
the majority of the people I follow, which I guess I follow the logical people.
I follow a lot of the same people, but it's also the same people that like, oh, well, I'm all for the people. I'm all for the people. Oh, wait, I burned the people. And it's just like, okay, her story is about her gaining people that she trusts, and she never had that before. So now she has nobody. Mm-hmm. Yeah, she takes it personal, and she's the most powerful person, so she's going to take it out on anybody that's in her path.
All because Jon wouldn't give her the dick, dude.
Exactly. If it's all Jon's fault. If he would have slept with his aunts, this would have all been averted.
Yep. They could have just snuck into the tunnels that Tyrion mentioned. That I don't know why they didn't just do that. If she didn't want to kill everyone, which I guess she did at a certain point, but
what do you mean?
The secret tunnels that Tyrion tells Jaime to use to escape?
Yeah.
Why didn't they just use that to sneak into the Red Keep instead of killing all the innocent people?
Because you couldn't sneak the dragon into the Red Keep.
You could have flown the dragon in at night above the Red Keep. I don't know, just to me, like I said, I don't have a problem with what happened.
No, not at all. I'm okay with it. Now, let's talk about one of the best parts of the episode. Finally got Clegane Bowl.
That was amazing.
It was good.
Qyburn's death was... I didn't necessarily expect him to live, but the way it happened was...
No.
It was pretty epic.
Well, just all the references to season 1, which is I know what you're going to be going into.
Yeah.
And just he died by what was her name? Martell. What's her first name?
Who? The Mountain?
Oberyn's wife and kid.
Oh, Elia Martell. Yeah.
Elia.
So the way he killed, it was Rhaegar's old wife, Elia Martell, who was Oberyn Martell's sister.
That's right.
So they had, like, when they sacked King's Landing, when the Mad King died, the Mountain, like, raped Elia Martell, killed her children. One of the ways she like threw a baby against the wall and killed it.
Exactly, yeah.
Which is pretty much what he did to Qyburn. He threw his head, and through the back of his head just like exploded. One thing that, it's kind of, this was a fan service moment, and I don't say I don't say that negatively because it was insane. But why does the Mountain like randomly why is he randomly not being able to be controlled? Like, he saw his brother earlier. He saw his brother in season 7, and he was able to be controlled then.
And he took a step forward, but I guess it's just because his brother, egged him on and then walked away.
Yeah.
And now, I mean, I guess any humanity that's left in him knows that his brother made the trek through there to kill him.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. Just, that was another small gripe I have with the episode is when Varys died. Which
I called it last episode.
No, we both
Varys
did.
was dying.
We both did. Apparently Varys like didn't feel pain because he didn't scream when he got burnt alive.
Well, he has no junk. He's a eunuch.
That means he can't feel pain?
I mean, at that point, when you feel that level of pain, I mean,
No. If you're getting burnt alive, you're screaming. So, like I said, it's another small thing.
Nitpicking.
So what I think, and I'm not a writer, but I thought about it a lot last night. I think they could have gone about it a different way and not have had to go into the background of why what happened. I don't know if you saw my tweet. I think she should have just attacked the Red Keep, and then
absolutely.
the caches of wildfire explode and still destroy a lot of the city.
But I'm not as upset as everybody else that she did kill the people. Yeah. Is she morally wrong in doing it? Yes. But do I understand also why she did it? Yes.
Well, and another problem I have, it also, like, she has to die next episode. Like, it sets that up. John or Arya is going to kill her. I think it's going to be John, because he still has to fulfill the Azor Ahai prophecy, since Arya baited part of it and stole it from him killing the Night King. Do you know the background of the forging of Lightbringer and everything?
I forget that one.
Okay, so really quick, Azor Ahai, the Princess Promise, was trying to forge Lightbringer. He did 30 days, 30 nights, went to temper the metal and water, and the sword broke. So he did 50 days, 50 nights, sword still broke. So then his loved one, Nissa, he did 100 days, 100 nights, and then stabbed Nissa with a sword to create Lightbringer. Jon's Azor Ahai, Daenerys is Nissa. Jon's gonna kill Daenerys.
I guess. I mean, that honestly, that may be the bookends, but this TV show, I seriously doubt it.
You don't think that'll happen?
No, because I mean, what about the whole Valonqar prophecy? I mean, Jamie or Tyrion was supposed to kill Cersei, and they just died in the caverns, and they are dead.
Oh, they're definitely dead.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, no, I don't see that happening.
We can hear you tapping, by the way.
Oh no, I'm sorry. I'm just thinking. People will probably be. I mean, obviously there are going to be people let down, but I think Okay, you want to play devil's advocate? What if Jon finds out that she's pregnant and sides with her and Mad Queen, and he just wants to keep the kid alive?
I could see that happening.
Yeah, I mean that would be horrible. People would, riot, but it's just
to me. Well, to me, you have to think about the last time they had sex.
Yeah.
So
she'd be showing.
Yeah, she'd be showing, and they would have said that she's pregnant by now.
But he didn't hug her recently like he hugs Sam's wife,
Gilly,
and she walks up and she's like, obviously she's not pregnant, but he hugs her and she's like, "You're pregnant?" And it's like, what? She just like pushed it out at that time, and it's like, seriously. And Sam's just like,
I'm not going to talk about. I mean, I've already mentioned who I thought was going to be on the Iron Throne. I'm not going to talk.
Yeah.
I'm not going to talk any more about that because it might have gotten potentially spoiled for me thanks to odds makers that probably saw the leaks. Because
at this point,
the person they had with the greatest odds, they were miles above everyone else.
Yeah, I understand that.
They were even odds, and Vegas doesn't put even odds unless they know something's going to happen.
I wouldn't be too upset, if it's Jon. I don't think it's Jon. After this episode, I play more into your idea of him going north and just leaving everything behind.
Yeah, I kind of turned Jon to that, a couple episodes ago, where Jon...
There was like
2 or 3. It might have even been longer than that, because I
want to say it was like 3 or 2.
I've said this for a while. Jon's entire character arc, which, granted, they destroyed... I don't think they destroyed Dany's character arc.
No.
Or ruined it. I kind of think they ruined Jaime's, but I'm kind of indifferent on that. People are saying they did, they didn't.
Jon's, I mean, Jaime ended up, realizing what was important to him. Yes, Cersei is important to him, but his kid's also important to him. Mm-hmm. And at the end of the day, he wants to be with Cersei.
Yeah.
And he accepted what type of person he is for that.
Yeah.
Now, that was probably one of the best scenes in this season was him and Tyrion.
Oh, dude, it was insane. That's like
But
what we said earlier.
That's to the actors.
Yeah.
That's to the actors' credit.
Even with the arguably, and we're talking about
Mediocre writing.
in terms of this show, mediocre writing, which is still good for almost any other show, compared to how the writing was in, say, seasons 1 through 4, or
Right.
even some parts of 5, even the second half of season 6, which was amazing. The actors have just, especially Emilia Clarke in this episode, like she knocked it out. She knocked it out of the park. Okay. But yeah, going back to John, his entire character arc has been focused on the North.
Yes,
that's what he's done everything for. So to me, there's no way he doesn't go north of the wall.
His family in the North.
Yeah. To me, they're being very straightforward with what's happening this season. All the foreshadowing they've done this season has happened. Especially with Daenerys, they foreshadowed her going Mad Queen. She went Mad Queen.
Mm-hmm. Well, they're playing up that John's going to be the other side of the coin. He's going to be the good.
Well, he's only 50% Targaryen,
so he's got a 25% chance.
Sure. I think it's already been proved that he landed on the good side, though.
He landed on the good side. But we also would think the same thing of Daenerys when we first met her, and she was, freeing slaves and doing all that stuff. But we had a lot of character deaths this episode that needed to be done. I mean, Cersei, Jaime, Hound, Mountain, Qyburn, Euron, which I was okay with Euron's death.
One thing that
where was Yara?
Where was Yara? And how does Euron lose to Jaime? I get that he had to die, right?
Well, he had to swim from the middle of the ocean.
He had to swim from that. Perfect timing. I guess he was just waiting there for Jaime.
Yeah, at one of the
one of the hidden entrances.
One of the hidden entrances. I mean, there was multiple hidden entrances. We both know that, which king was it? Maegor built all these hidden entrances in and out, and then he had his own red weapon and killed them. But Tyrion
killed all the designers, so nobody would know them.
In all honesty, I think even without Drogon, Tyrion knows enough about King's Landing that they would have won.
Oh, they would have won. Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, okay, you enter through one of the hidden entrances, and you bypass the entire ground force, which is just the Golden Company, obviously.
Because the Lannister army didn't do much.
No, the Lannister army was inside the walls the entire time, and once that main wall was broken through, they just ran away.
Yeah. But back to what I was saying. So the Sand Snakes, as terrible as their story was,
that was bad. They
somehow beat Jaime and Bronn. Euron beat the Sand Snakes, like straight up 1v2, 1v3.
Mm-hmm.
Jaime lost to the Sand Snakes, but Jaime beats Euron. Think about
it. Did he beat Euron? Because he was going to die anyway.
Yeah, but
he got stabbed 3 times?
Twice, I think.
Yeah, twice, but Jaime just got the better stab in the
gut because Euron let him get back to his weapon. See, I don't know. Like I said, I don't have a problem with what happened.
Golden bitch slap.
Yeah, that was pretty badass. I don't have a problem with what happened.
No, they both needed to die.
Yeah, we both knew we knew Euron was going to die.
Absolutely.
We knew Jaime was more than likely going to die.
But what is dead may never die, so.
Yeah, true. I guess we're not going to see Yara. Another thing my buddy Davis brought up, who was Varys writing to, we'll probably never find out. He was probably writing to like some lords, but we'll probably never find out who specifically.
Yeah, because he burned it and took off his rings, and he knew it was coming. I don't know who he'd be writing to.
My whole thing with Varys,
he could have been writing to the Iron Bank. He could have been writing to the Iron Bank.
That's true. He could have. I had a problem with Varys. We knew he was going to die, so they were limited with what they could do with him this episode. But Varys is a really smart dude. Like, really smart. There's no way he still would have been there, like, and just revealed to John that, like, oh, I know your secret and all this. Like, he would have had some tactic behind it.
Well, he thought he had a tactic because he was trying to appeal to the man in John, but he thought that he wouldn't be as much like Ned, but it turns out he's more like Ned than anybody else.
Oh yeah.
But no, he made the mistake of sticking around after Tyrion pretty much like called him out and was like, dude, what are you doing? That's treason.
Yeah.
You're gonna die.
Another thing I have a problem with, John didn't betray or commit treason against Dany, even though she says he did. It's like, he stated facts. Like, that's who he is. And he said he was going to do it too.
Well,
he told her, he's like, no, I have to tell my family.
I have to tell my family, yeah.
So she keeps saying
treason by not bending both knees.
True. Yeah. If you want to say that. I don't know. So that was another thing. And like I said, I enjoyed the episode.
Do you think she's going to kill Tyrion next episode?
No.
He's not going to be Hand of the Queen. He might just be. I don't think she's going to kill him. Mm-hmm. But I don't think he's going to be Hand of the Queen anymore.
Or Hand of the King, depending on who gets the throne, Queen or King.
I mean, right now, if Jon becomes king, it's going to be Davos. It's going to be Hand of the King.
Yeah, because Davos has been.
I don't know how Davos is still alive.
Me either.
He's not a good fighter.
He's not a good fighter, but he survived all these battles. Like, yeah, the dude's doing something right. One thing I thought was hilarious was when he saw Arya fighting in episode 3, and he's just like standing on the steps, and she turns around and looks at him, and he's just like, "Oh my god, this chick's badass." I guess they did. I liked the touch with Arya where she called the Hound by his name.
Yeah,
because who knows when the last time somebody's done that to him.
Well, it was that, and then the episode 4, whenever Sansa and him had the pretty much finishing of their story.
Mm-hmm. That was a really good scene.
Yeah, I heard they broke you in good, and she's like, "Well, if it wasn't for them, I would still be a little bird."
Yeah, and it was funny when he was like, "How did you do it?" And she said, "With hounds." How she killed Ramsay, and he smiled. I thought that was pretty good.
No.
So the main consensus is the seasons needed to be longer.
Yeah.
I would go even as far to say season 7 should have ended with the White Walkers getting to Winterfell. And then
it stays up there.
And season cuts off, and episode 1 and 2 are the battle.
No. I think the start of the season, I think the play out of the season was good. Like, the episode 1 being such a callback to season 1 with the king and queen riding into Winterfell.
Yeah, that was
all
nice.
The reunions. That episode 1 was great this season. I loved it.
Episode 2 was great too.
Episode 2 was great. Episode 3 should have probably been like 2 episodes. There should have been more of a build up for the Night King. And
we both agreed the White Walkers were underused. They should have. They
were underwhelming. I mean, the build up was, there was no payoff.
Yeah.
But I think they could have did a whole lot more. I think there could have been a couple more episodes in between, episode 5 and episode 3. There could have probably been 3 episodes in between there. There could have been at least one more episode in between those two. And then the fact is that we only have 1 episode left. There should be at least 2 more left.
Yeah, there definitely should. I would almost feel like if they're gonna do, we both agree they're gonna do a time jump at the end of next episode.
I thought they were gonna do the entire episode.
The time jump could be its own episode, setting up if they go to a democracy, set up how they do that, how they elect people. Give an update on Gendry, because is he still going to be Lord of Storm's End? I would think so. Where was Gendry?
No matter what she says, Gendry is going to Storm's End.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Just, and even it's like it's fans like us that notice all these things. So if you're just watching, like say you binge the show, just like from this past season and this season, you probably think it's great. And I'm not saying it's not great by any means. Just to me,
it was good.
Yeah, it was good.
It was really
just to me, and I'm not the kind of person that's going to get upset or mad over a TV show or be like, "Oh, the whole series is ruined because of 4 episodes of the show." I mean, I watched Lost, for crying out loud.
Yeah,
I watched all of Lost, and
not doing that.
First 3 seasons were incredible, and then I still think Lost might have had a worse ending than this. We'll see. I mean, we don't know yet, but
I guarantee you will. I didn't even watch it, but just hearing from it, I know that had a worse ending than this.
So I don't know that this will reach like the Lost, Sopranos, Dexter type failing endings.
No.
We're both
for that to happen, Varys is going to pop up. Not Viserys. Viserys is going to pop up at the end and just be like, "I'm the dragon now," or something like that. That's how it would end.
One thing they could do that would just send off red lights immediately is if Dany tries to burn Jon alive and he survives, because he's burnt himself before in season 1 when he killed the White at Castle Black.
Yeah.
So if they do that and they just retcon that entire thing, it's like, okay, like, which I don't think will happen. But
he died and he awakened his Targaryen half when he came back to life.
Yeah, okay. Another thing, like, what's going to happen with the apparently army of Dothraki that are alive and the Unsullied if Daenerys dies? Like, what?
Pillage and rape.
Yeah, but like, they're just gonna. Because the Dothraki and the Unsullied are obviously loyal to Daenerys. Because when she kept attacking, they kept attacking. Shit, even the Northerners kept attacking. Like, Jon killed one of his own men.
Well, yeah, that's just Grey Worm because he was upset. That started it off, and everybody fed into it. But the Dothraki, they wouldn't be controlled. They're following her, but I think the Unsullied would follow, whoever's in charge.
I don't know. I think Grey Worm and Jon might fight.
Other than Grey Worm, because I mean, it was the whole thing with Tyrion walks up and he says, I want to be left alone with the prisoner, and he goes, "No, we have orders to stand guard." And he's like, "Who gave that to you? The Queen?" He goes, "No," and he's like, "Well, I'm the hand of the Queen, and so if the Queen didn't give it to you, I'm sure I greatly outrank the person."
Yeah.
So they follow, strict military rules. So I can see them following whoever stands on the crown or stands on the throne. It's just.
And then on the other side of that, what happens to Drogon? I think Drogon.
They're gonna. If Daenerys dies, Drogon's gonna go crazy, and they're gonna have to kill Drogon.
You think? I don't know.
That or Jon's gonna hop on him and
Arya comes in as soon as Jon. If this happens, Jon kills Daenerys. Arya comes in, like, shoots air, because they've been foreshadowing Arya using a bow all season. All
series.
She comes in and shoots Drogon in the eyes, and Jon kills him with a sword.
When has she shot a bow and arrow at somebody in the series?
Never.
She hasn't.
And they've been foreshadowing it.
Episode 1.
Yeah.
Episode 1, her showing up Bran.
Yep. So
Arya
comes in and shoots Drogon in the eyes, and Jon stabs him, and Valyrian still instantly kills a dragon or something.
She's gonna shoot at Daenerys, and Jon's gonna jump on the way, and Jon's gonna die.
Oh Lord! Jon has light speed and can jump in front of it. Jon's freaking Oliver Queen now, dude. He can jump in front of arrows and catch arrows too. Let's go.
No, Jon's gonna jump in front of him, but it's gonna go over his head because he's too short.
Yeah. It's like, dude, if you would have been as tall as Khal Drogo, you would have been good. But
that's one thing I'm surprised of. They were hitting him left and right with short jokes through the first 2 episodes, but those stopped real quick.
Yeah. So, let me see. As far as rankings go, I'd probably give that episode a 7, like I gave episode 3.
Yeah, no, it was good. Just like you said, it was probably the best shot. The music and everything, and the pace of the episode was great. Yeah,
because I mean, it was Miguel Sapochnik, so he knows how to do a hectic episode correctly.
So it's probably episode 1, 2 shortly under that. Then you have 3 and 5, and then you got 4.
I'm sorry. The more I look back on 4, is just
it's good. It's good, but it's not great.
Rhaegal dying makes They literally did that to
They did it to balance it.
and for shock factor.
But yeah, I mean, I knew Rhaegal was going to die at some point.
Just like I
Now-
said, I don't have a problem with it the way it
No.
happened.
The way it happens, but
When the creator of the series says hitting a dragon mid-flight is like 1 in a million, and you hit it 3 times in a row.
okay, but also how many ships were in Euron's fleet? Let's say 25.
At
If they would-
what point? At the point Rhaegal died?
Yeah, well, the point this past week.
Oh,
So
it's way more than 25, dude.
Okay, so 100 ships. If they fire a Scorpion off in the same direction with enough lead time,
Yep.
all staggered, you're gonna hit the dragon.
Yeah. Which they showed like they technically only showed one ship shooting. It was Euron's.
And
So
you
does
got
that mean-
blasted on the second pass.
Yeah, does that mean none of the other ships even shot? And don't
None
say
of
they
the-
were and people can't say, oh, they were caught by surprise. They were obviously preparing because they were on the ship. Like literally all the ships were manned.
My biggest complaint with episode 4 was why were they pulling up that close to King's Landing? Why didn't they go to Dragonstone and get off there and then travel by road the rest of the way?
Dragonstone is right by King's Landing.
But what they were showing before Rhaegal got killed, it looked like they were pretty much a stone's throw away from King's Landing. They're right there.
Dragonstone is very close to King's Landing.
But I didn't think it would be that close because they approached the bay that's buffering up between. I guess it's the bay that's in between King's Landing and there.
Blackwater.
Yeah,
I
Blackwater
believe.
Bay. But it's okay. How can you not see the Iron Fleet right there? You can obviously
The
King's
mountains,
Landing.
dude.
Yeah, the mountains.
The mountains block the dragons
Camouflage.
flying in the sky, dude.
But back to good things about this episode. I'm glad that they had the dragon fire going off in the city.
Mhm.
It's just a callback to the first season whenever the Mad King had it planted all around the city and he was burn them all. Because
Okay,
Megan looked at me, was asking about that. I was like, oh no, those spread throughout the city and they didn't find all the reserves.
Okay, so if you pull up the map, here's King's Landing, Blackwater Bay. So they probably get attacked. Who knows? This might be the mountain they got attacked from.
No, I'm 90% sure like Rosby, straight south. That's where it seems like they got attacked.
Yeah, I don't know. Because that's very close.
It looks like they were right at there.
Who knows? Subversion.
No.
Yeah. I don't know.
Bad editing.
Yeah, bad editing. How the camera panned around, so they shot the scorpions through the mountains. Like, no, you should have done. I don't know. And how Daenerys can all of a sudden take out 100 ships, but can't take out 10.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Just not consistent.
Normally how it goes.
Just not consistent. Still good. Still overall good, but subverting expectations, Pog. That seems like the moral of the story this season. Like I said, they've been very straightforward with everything they said this season. So I'd bet a lot of money John goes north at the end. If he's alive. Which I think he will be.
Okay. Pull up the episode. Unless that's not King's Landing, but looks like it is.
On episode 4.
Episode 4.
Game of Thrones. Oh wait,
I'm waiting for the view.
For that. Okay. Episode 4.
No, that's Dragonstone. Never mind.
Yeah, I was. Okay, I'm gonna pause this.
It's
so
Dragonstone.
It is okay.
It's at 53 minutes and 54 seconds. No, that's Dragonstone. So no, that makes 100% more sense because they were talking about King's Landing and once we take King's Landing, and it seems like they're pulling up on King's Landing. It's like, why would you do that? But it's probably the Iron Fleet was waiting for them in Dragonstone. But
because she forgot about
we'll
them.
get it. Yeah.
Oh man, I'm very interested to see how this is going to end.
Yeah, it's really gonna be interesting. So
Yeah, and then we'll have spinoffs. So we'll find out who the Night King was for people not complaining, or for people complaining about that.
So, how do you feel about the Double D brothers going and writing a Knights of the Old Republic series?
I'm worried. I am very worried.
It's okay. There's a whole lot more source material for it.
Yeah, but what if that source material is canon? None of it.
None of it. Well,
They could probably make it canon, but
they were never going to make it canon. I mean, Kathleen Kennedy can make it canon.
mm-hmm. I don't know that I want her to do anything.
If it's good enough and it brings Disney enough money, they can make it canon.
I don't know. Let's put it this way. It definitely seems like the Double D brothers, or as a lot of people have been calling them, Dumb and Dumber, were trying to wash their hands of this series and get it done as soon as possible. If HBO gives you an unlimited budget, you don't shorten the seasons.
I think I have their priorities wrong. Because as we stated earlier in our podcast, that not this episode, but earlier, they spent 55 days on the episode 3 that they could have been shortened down.
Oh, yeah. Definitely could have been shortened.
They could have added, I mean, I would have been, as I said, I would have been completely okay waiting another 6 months, a year for this to come out and add 2 more episodes, 4 more episodes. If we would have had 2 more of this, of like an hour and a half, or just 10 episodes of an hour each, I would have been okay with it.
Just the fact that there's 1 more episode of Game of Thrones.
Yeah, there's 1 more episode, then you're going to enjoy the one the most is the making of.
Yeah, that'll be really good, because that'll be the entire season. And it'll probably have flashbacks to earlier seasons, too.
Oh, yeah, easily.
But guys, so what'd you give it, a 7? About a soft 7. Could go to 7.5, potentially.
I'm going to give it an 8.
An 8? Wow.
But there's the writing, I've gotten past that. The writing is going to be if you look at every television series, it's the good ones, obviously. Strong as hell in the beginning, still good in the middle. In the end, it's either top notch or it's kind of, why'd you do that?
Yeah. So top notch being like Breaking Bad, and then why'd you do that being like Lost, Dexter.
I've never seen Breaking Bad or Lost, so
Breaking Bad is like the TV series where it only gets better. Every season is better than the last. You like to hate on popular things, so that's okay.
Popular shows? What are you talking about? I don't hate popular shows.
No, you hate popular things.
No, because I would love to watch Mad Men. I don't know if I want to devote that much time to a show like that. No,
Breaking Bad's insanely good.
I've accepted, the writing's going to be subpar. As I said, they don't have that concrete source material to draw from. So they're trying to pull at it. They're not writers. So they're also trying to push through a script. So the script might have been done. Okay, say they took 6 months to get the script done. So that means they have to get production ready in probably another 6 months and then shoot in another 6 months. So it's a whole lot more rushed if they could take source material and say, okay, we're going to have somebody break this down. Okay, we're cutting out these 3 chapters. We're pulling these parts. We're going to shoot these scenes. It's a lot easier to edit something like that rather than them trying to start from scratch saying, okay, we talked to George R. Martin. We know we want Daenerys to blow up King's Landing. We want Arya to kill the Night King. We want John's a Targaryen, or he probably told him that John's a Targaryen. And we have to build a story around that and what we think is right and what's building off of the current paths that we have going. So it's a little tricky, especially whenever you're trying to play writer and director, creator all at the same time. So I'm giving them a little bit more of a break than everybody else, because ultimately the show is still doing well. It's still doing good. We're still having a podcast talking about how much we're looking forward to the next episode.
It's being viewed well. It is not being it's not being reviewed well.
Oh, well, no, it's being torn apart because of today's internet society.
Oh yeah, I agree. So like me, I have problems with it, but I can present the problems logically.
Yeah,
just like everybody else.
You can take criticism on it.
Yeah,
and not
every other
wrong.
person on the internet can do that
You're
too,
wrong.
right?
You're wrong, Block.
Every other person on the internet's logical. They
so
use their heads.
one thing that we haven't talked about. What is the other? So are you guessing that Daenerys burning down King's Landing is the other third oh shit moment from George R. R. Martin? Or was it Arya killing the Night King so easily?
I don't think it was that.
Or Ghost not getting a hug.
Yeah. I saw a meme and it was of John when he like saw what Daenerys, like when she was destroying the city, and it was like when you realize that they have all this money to spend on a dragon destroying a city, but having a scene where you pet your dire wolf was too expensive or something like that.
The best is Ghost writing a letter and says, "Let him know it was me."
Yeah, and it has like a dog with like a cowl over its head, like a Lena Tyrell.
I love that. Well, she also played a big role because she said, "No,
be a dragon.
Be a dragon."
Yeah,
and you know that old lady knew what she was talking about.
Yeah.
So it was good. I mean, people are gonna overreact because there's so much hype around it, but
some people, you can probably tell who these people are. They would have complained no matter what happens.
Exactly, because they want to complain, they want to get the likes on the internet, and they have nothing else to do with their lives.
It's the same people that if Arya kills the Night King, it should have been Jon. But if Jon kills the Night King, it was too predictable.
It should have been Theon.
Yeah. Everyone should have died in episode 3. There only should have been 3 episodes this season. Everyone should have died. Or not enough people died. The next episode, too many people died.
Well, the Night King was the last bad guy.
Yeah, it's Game of Zombies, dude. It's not Game of Thrones. It's Game of Zombies.
I don't.
Caleb 3. There was a couple other things I wanted to get into. We might have to do a separate episode on that though. I saw a Twitter thread explaining why the writing has gotten, and when I say noticeably worse, that sounds harsher than it is.
What Twitter thread?
It was from a writer, and saying how pretty much comparing going off source material and doing your own thing with that. It's like still following the source material, but making a unique story. So like one example of that would be Gendry's character. There is no Gendry in the books.
No.
He's 2 characters. In the books, there's already an Aegon Targaryen in this current generation. It was Elia Martell's other son.
Exactly.
So what is that? Like, is he still, and apparently he's still alive.
Yeah, he's still alive. He's just like on a boat somewhere.
Yeah. So, he was pretty much saying when you're given the end result, I don't even know if I'm going to say this right. Pretty much when you're given the end result, you have to work towards that result. But when you're given...
that's exactly what I said. Yeah.
So, like, you have to work towards it. So, the books, the major things are going to happen the same in the books. So, like, whoever sits in the Iron Throne at the end of the show, will more than likely sit on the Iron Throne at the end of the book, too.
Right.
Who the main characters that die, Jaime and Cersei dying, they might not die the same way, but they're gonna die.
I was okay with how they died. I mean,
yeah, people said they deserved better. I'm just indifferent.
Deserve better? What do you mean? Like more?
Like Cersei has been
bigger deaths.
Yeah, Cersei has been like insanely evil the entire series.
She died when she was scared for her life and her life for her child. I mean, there's.
But then no, I'm saying it. But then she what has she done this season?
Oh yeah,
shit. I mean, she's got sidelined straight up.
She thought she was the shit, and obviously she wasn't.
And you also have to deal with the fact that Daenerys is now worse than her father.
Because he didn't get a chance to burn the city,
and she's worse. She's worse than Cersei, who apparently was a tyrant. So,
but it's the next episode is going to be a thing because what if she is now queen and she sends Drogon away?
Oh, so you're saying like, what if she?
So she's now the queen. She got rid of all the tyrants. Fear me, but my dragon's gone away, and I don't have that anymore. But now I'm going to be compassionate.
I doubt she would do that.
I mean, she sent him away before.
Yeah, but what made her? What are the two biggest things that made her snap and go insane? Besides, like, her quote unquote not having anybody, Missandei dying and Rhaegal dying.
Yeah, Rhaegal dying. Well, Viserion dying too was a big part of it. She just didn't get a chance to grieve too much on it.
So, I mean, I don't think she would send away her last child.
Better keep Grey Worm alive.
Yeah, because that's at this point, Grey Worm is the only
Grey Worm, and well, I mean, if Drogon dies, she has nothing.
Yeah. So I don't know, man. It's gonna be interesting to say the least. Next week's podcast will be very long, very long. Might have to do like 2 parts, and then we'll do a recap of the like behind the season, because apparently that's like 2 hours long.
Yeah, like no, I want to say that's longer than the 2 episodes, and then we can maybe do a series review after that. Yeah,
we'll probably do multiple episodes on different topics, even pulling from like certain parts of this season, just going into depth on that. Because I've been watching a lot of videos recently on like all the prophecy stuff happening. So like Azor Ahai, the Valonqar prophecy, one prophecy they don't even go into in the show, which is like the three betrayals Daenerys will have and everything.
What prophecy did they have from the books that's in the show?
Azor Ahai. And
that's it.
The Valonqar. I think the Valonqar's in the books.
They mentioned it
in the show.
The Valonqar, no, the Valonqar's are definitely in the books.
You're asking which one did they mention?
Yeah, I'm asking which one they mentioned in the show.
Valonqar and Azor Ahai.
Okay.
Because when you first see Stannis, he's at Dragonstone, and Melisandre says Azor Ahai, and he's holding a sword on fire, and she says the Lightbringer. Nissa is never mentioned, but and then the Valonqar, you have like the flashback with Cersei, the younger.
Yeah, I remember that one where she meets the witch,
and your 3 children will die. There's also another prophecy. If you remember in Karth, they see like that woman with like she's completely covered. I don't remember her name, but people are thinking the horse at the end of this episode. She mentions a pale mare with death sitting on its back, and it's a pale mare that picks up Arya at the end of the episode. And Arya is like kind of synonymous, like the god of death and everything. So.
What about the Red Witch that Arya saw overseas and stuff like that? I mean, why didn't they?
Or like the one Varys saw in Meereen, where she said, "You want me to tell you what the fire like told you when your parts got burned?" Stuff like that. Like, there's a lot of stuff that we're probably just not going to get because they shortened the season and we don't have enough time.
They don't have enough time for it. So I don't know how. Still don't know how what's his name Brand's power works, so that's all I kind of want.
Yeah, and the show you don't
spend 10 minutes explaining.
You just understand that he can see the past and some of the future.
So how much time are they going to spend in Winterfell this episode? The last 5 minutes?
Probably in the time jump, if they do one.
I was kind of hoping they would have the time jump, at the beginning of this episode. Yeah. This last episode would be all, 5 years later, 10 years later, whatever.
I don't know, man. Like I said, just have to wait and see what's going to happen. But anyways, guys, if you're listening on any of the podcast platforms, we do stream these. We'll probably be streaming every Monday night for, I'd say, the next month or two. Still covering Game of Thrones stuff and other stuff. I definitely want to cover more Game of Thrones stuff, especially for YouTube, because people click that shit up.
We need to do that, but we also need to get back into the gaming stuff. We have a bunch of variety coming up soon.
Yeah, we do have a bunch of news, like have some PS5 details.
The last PlayStation, what's it called? Play something.
Camera, you look it up real quick. So they revealed Final Fantasy VII remake.
They revealed a longer trailer, which is completely different from
the one they showed.
The original one.
And people are, well, it's not turn-based. It's a remake, not a remaster.
Exactly.
Learn English, brother.
Yeah, that's
so we'll be getting back into the gaming stuff here probably fairly soon. We'll still have probably 2 or 3 more weeks.
State of play, yeah.
State of play. So we'll definitely have at least 2 more Game of Thrones episodes, and we'll probably get back to doing streaming one and then recording one off stream. Try to get back to posting 2 a week. So if you're listening, we do stream a podcast live on twitch.tv/Brewski every Monday night around 8:30. Follow us on Twitter. They're both linked in the descriptions below. We usually tweet out when we're live. I actually forgot to this week, but
Rip.
I think we both did. Anyways, guys, go ahead and follow, like, and comment down what you think of the season so far, what your issues are, what your positives are. And we're both pretty responsive, especially on YouTube, to comments.
YouTube, Twitter, or whatever.
Yeah. So, like I said, be sure to follow, like, subscribe, whatever it is. And until next time, guys, thanks for watching.
And keep gaming.
Keep gaming. We appreciate y'all. Peace.